And I think we're live. Hi everyone, this is Jackson and my wife Emily.
Hi.
We're broadcasting to you live from Vancouver, Canada. And in case you don't know, we're also parents to 4 boys, and we also run a digital business. And it's going on for how long now? We've been doing this.
Almost
20,
a year.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
22 months.
22 months, right?
For the business.
Almost 2 years, right? And each week we invite someone from our community who we look up to and who are leaders in our community. And we usually want to more do it for ourselves, I think, that we can learn from them, and also to inspire our followers who may be thinking about joining this business. So today we're so honored that Agape and Akin, they're all the way from Alberta, right? Alberta?
Yes.
And they're sparing some time for us and sharing about their journey with us. So, hi, Agape and Akin, how are you?
Hi, Jackson. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we were just talking between us. We have 7 kids?
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
That's right.
The country.
And we talk about boy versus girl, and it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
So before we start, Agape Akin, we would like you to briefly introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do before the business? How long have you been in the business? To all the audience.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So as Jackson and Emily introduced us, we're Agape and Akin. We live in Airdrie in Alberta, and we've been here living in Airdrie for about 8 years, going on 9 years now. Before we started,
how far are you from, say, Calgary? What's the kind of?
I think about
20-25 minutes drive.
About 20 minutes from Calgary. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just for my curiosity. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and we both actually worked in Calgary when we were working. Before our online business, we were both working in banks, separate banks.
I used to work as a credit analyst, and I work weekends.
Yeah.
And they usually give me free lunch on Saturdays from any restaurant near the office. Yeah. So I loved my last place of employment.
Yeah.
And
you only work on weekends?
No. He works on weekends.
Oh, I see.
work Tuesday to Saturdays.
Yeah. So they compensate them. They compensate for that time by giving them free lunch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you work.
Yeah, I worked with a bank as well, but I wasn't a finance person at all. Not any way financially inclined. I worked with we call ourselves, or our department was called Workplace Strategies. And what we do is we are happiness creators. So our job involved making team members happy. We do events and lunch and learns and just things that made team members feel at home whilst in the office. So it was a really fun job, but
you would be part of the HR department, I suppose.
Not really. So
HR.
Yeah, HR we don't even report to HR. So they were quite different. Ours was called Workplace Strategies. So we strategized around things that helped team members feel happy enough to give our customers a happy experience.
Happiness creator. That's a word. I like it.
Yeah, you're very suitable for the job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you were working in banks, and then
then
what happened first was I lost my job 2 years ago.
Okay.
And we realized that we've been working for almost 2 decades,
now,
and we are not at the place where we really wanted. And so at the time we saw the business, she saw the advert, she came over and said, I think we found something.
Yeah.
I said, okay, let's see, because I just lost my job. We just moved to a new house and we're down to 1 income.
Yeah.
And then,
so at that time, starting a business was not big on his mind, because he's like, we are barely able to make ends meet now, since we went from 2 incomes that was barely enough to 1 income income, right? So it was like, it was a no at that time, not because he didn't believe in the business or system, but because our situation could not allow us take that leap of faith, right? But down the road, we had to just make up our minds and say, look, what do we want for ourselves, right? Nobody is coming to save us. If we don't make this move, our situation will not change, because now after he lost his job and we were barely making that one income work, we then started to do some side jobs like food delivery and stuff like that. But months down the line, it still wasn't helping at all, right? We were just barely making it through to the next month, paying our bills. And that was when we said, look, we have to just start this business, because we knew that this was the gateway to helping us achieve our dreams.
And then after 1 year, she joined.
I joined him in the, no
boss free world.
in the boss free world, because I quit my job, right? The business had now started to pay us good enough that we didn't depend on our 9-to-5 incomes anymore.
Wow. So now both of you are full-time doing the business together.
Yes.
How was it for you, like over the almost 1.5 year?
Was it difficult to transition to working together, or have you guys worked together in some sort of business venture before? No.
Yes, we've always worked together.
Well,
At the very beginning of our marriage, she used to be a caterer, outdoor catering. That was back in Nigeria, and then she does all the cooking. I do the driving and the delivering and stuff. And then we moved on from that one to another business, like maybe 2 or 3 more, whereby we do trainings in our living room, because we have a large living room back in Nigeria. Then we train about 12 or 2 people every weekend for another type of business. So we've always been,
working
together.
Because we never been in the business together before, so it took us a while to kind of integrate and we were like arguing. So we want to know if you guys was it easy for you working together?
I think because of what he said, like because of how we have tried in the past and everything, you learn from each experience, right? Of course, in the very beginning, it wasn't so smooth, but then as time went on, we learned how to, compromise and, assign duties to each other. Even with this online business, we had to learn what works for each person. He has his own strengths. I have my own strengths. I was the one who was like the face of the business in the beginning. And one day I said to him, look, this business says agape and akin. It doesn't say agape only. So you have to be showing your face as well. So, that started, he started to, join me more, because he was a very shy person. But, later it became a little bit more, a little easier, because we were together, right? If it was only him doing it, maybe he would not have been able to. So we kind of started to learn how to complement one another that way.
But at the same time, there were a lot of things that needed to be done as well, in terms of how do we, organize the kids, the many errands, or doing monthly budgets, or cooking, or so many things needed to be figured out. And then we eventually found a way to navigate and plan and work around everything.
Right. Yeah, we understand that. I think every couple contribute equally to the family, and also I think either seen or the unseen part. So in the past 1.5 years, would you say that your business journey was a smooth sailing, or was it difficult in the beginning? Then if it was, then how did you guys push through?
So it wasn't sailing, and I also wouldn't say it was difficult. But every business or even a new job, there's always challenges, because you have to integrate with the new system, you have to learn stuff and everything. But then for us, we because we have navigated through different, jobs and also starting businesses and carrying it through, we were able to rise above whatever challenge. For us, the challenges were nothing compared to what our eyes were on. Our eyes were always focused on the goal. We knew that this business would take a bit of, investment in time, investment in funds, and then patience to build it, right? Yeah. So there was no, what is happening, where for every challenge that we saw, we knew that, look, this is just another stepping stone for us achieving our goals. Yeah. So because we were so focused on our goals, all of the seeming challenges were nothing for us, right? So it wasn't smooth sailing because there were sacrifices to be made. There were times where, we wanted to focus on something, but then our kids needed our attention. There were times when, we wanted to spend our money doing something. Meanwhile, other needs were calling for that same money that we were trying to manage. So those were the kind of challenges, but it was easy to rise above them because our eyes were constantly fixed on the goal that we had in front of us.
Right. And would you say in the past, year and a half, anything that you feel that you could have done differently, or thinking back? I know we can't go back in time, but people listening in can give a good tip for them, like for you guys.
I honestly, I don't think that we would have done anything different. Okay. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
because even when we started, we didn't even think, we didn't even wish to have started earlier, because where we were was not a good place for anyone really, or is a common story for everyone to start a business, because we were down to one income, we moved to a new house. So who will start a business? Business is not something like getting groceries. Yeah. It is something you do every day, sacrificing time, lots of learning, lots of meeting people and growing, and taking care of the family as well.
Yeah, I think that you guys made the best decision out of every situation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what would you say that starting this business or having the successful business have the biggest impact on your family?
Well, I think the biggest impact really has been, it has given us, how will I put it? It has given us what we wanted out of it. Yeah. What we wanted out of this business was time freedom and financial freedom. Yeah. And for us, even though we haven't achieved 100% financial freedom, but we're almost there. We're this close to it, right? Because when we say financial freedom, it means for us that we're no longer in debt. Right? We pay off all our debt, even our mortgage, right? Because our own dream is to pay off this house within a certain period of time, like shorter than what, we went into agreements with the bank, right? Yeah. And then for us, we've gotten the time freedom in the sense that both of us, like, he never had to go back to work, right? And then, 2 years plus now. Now, I was also able to join him as a stay-at-home parent a year after starting this business, right? So we've been able to get the time freedom and the financial freedom, because now, 2 years ago, we couldn't afford to put away little bits of money for emergency funds or for kids' college or for even our own future. But now we're able to do that. So that's like the biggest impact for us.
And then some examples with time freedom is the fact that recently I was playing ping pong with our 5-year-old. First thing in the morning on a Monday morning. Yeah, nice. When we were still working, that would never have been possible, or that would have never have crossed our minds to do. Yeah. And now the goal also very soon is Monday mornings, I want to go play golf or cut the grass at the backyard, and also another example of our time freedom now is we are more consistent doing morning walks. Yeah. We walk around our area for 30-45 minutes. Exercise is good. Yeah. But before, in our previous lifestyle,
it was tough to add in exercise, with
more free time now.
Yeah. And then we have huge hope for a better financial future in terms of the planning and the savings we needed to do. No emergencies can come around our savings right now, because we are in a much better place and progressing.
Yeah. You have more safety stock.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is huge, especially under the circumstances now that you have this mind that you know that your future is set and you have all the time in your hands to manage however you want to use it.
Yeah.
And I'm curious. I know we don't have time to go in detail about this business, but name one thing that you guys are very you really love about this business. It's our particular business, right?
Yeah, so in this business, my gosh, there's a lot, like you said, but we'll just try and streamline it. So I think that the biggest thing really is the community. My gosh, like, I mean, up until today, we've never met face to face. Like, this is our first face to face with Aki and I and Jackson and Emily, right? And that's the beautiful thing about our community is like we all support one another. Right? We don't feel as if we're competing against one another. Right? And I think it's unique to our community because there's lots of online businesses out there, but a lot of people feel like they have to, compete with one another to get the market or to get the customers or whatever. But our community, because of the pillar on which it was built by our founders, right? It seeps down to all of us to say, hey, we help one another, we lift one another up and help one another succeed in the business. Now, another thing for us that is big is the training. My God. Like Akin said in the beginning, we've run businesses before. We know what it takes to run a business, a brick and mortar business, not to talk of an online business where you have to pay for systems, you have to pay for training, you have to pay for support, you have to pay for hosting websites. All of these things we get for free in our own business. How crazy is that, right? Like you're making really good money from this thing, yet you're not even like spending so much money
doing research to put them all together.
Like you cannot even beat that, right? So
kind of like a franchise business. Yeah, it's like a franchise business, but without all the costs, right?
Without all the costs and the heavy.
You kind of just plug in. Yeah, so
I'm sorry if you guys can hear some background noise right now. We're doing some renovations.
It's okay. It's not.
It's cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think listening to you guys, I would want to join if I weren't in the business. But very exciting.
Yeah, I have one question for you guys. Like, so on the day-to-day basis, what is the one probably habit or principle that you guys have to help you achieve what you have today? Like your secret to your success.
Yeah, I think the biggest is a positive mindset. Every single day we make sure that we don't go over a few minutes in negativity. Even if there is anything discouraging us or anything like a challenge or anything that's making us feel weary or sad or whatever, one person has to,
remind
out of it because we don't ever want a negative aura around us. So for us, it's even with our kids. If I see my kids like carrying a long face, right away I say to them, fix that face. Whatever it is, fix that face, right? Don't let that aura follow you around, right? So we it's big for us, and then we try to pass it down to our kids to say, always be positive, right? Even when they're doing chores. And if I say, go fix the dishes, and they're like, I'm like, no. Do your chores with joy.
Yeah.
Seriously, I say to them, do your chores with joy. If you do it with joy, it won't seem like a chore to you. You will do it because it's a skill that you have to learn in life. Yeah. Period. Because right?
If you grow up and have your own family, who's going to do it for you?
Who's going to do it for you? Nobody.
College, who's going to do it for you?
I guess we always have a choice, at least with our attitude, right?
You choose to rather than you have to.
Right. Yes. Good tip. That's a good tip.
Yeah. Well, thanks you guys for sharing with us today. With your house under construction and everything. And I know you guys are busy, and we really hope one day we'll get to meet you.
Yes.
We come to Vancouver or we go to Alberta.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And thank you everyone for watching.
To see your new basement.
Right.
There's a room waiting for you.
We can bring our laptop. We can work together.
Exactly.
And you're welcome to come to our place too when everything is over. Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching us.
We wish you all the best with your business, and so appreciate your effort again. I know Agape has been helping out our community a lot, and also Akin as well. So thank you so
really
much.
grateful for your contribution.
You're welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Thanks for having us on your page.
Yeah, thank you. You have a great day.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.